Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Audrey and I make content about all things wellness, and if that's your kind of thing, please consider staying by subscribing. It's nice here, it is a vibe. And today we are going to be creating this fall inspired look whilst we talk about the mindset of abundance and scarcity. So if that's something you're interested in, please keep watching. Love like a mountain that cannot be moved. Just as an eagle, I found freedom in you, a peace which brings me. So our brows are done as per usual because we don't want to spend time on that. But today we are doing a fall look, a burnt orange fall look, and I'm very excited. So I was watching a video of DoorDash where she was saying, make more money, don't save, make more money. And I was like, that is an interesting take and that's an interesting theory. And I'll tell you why. I grew up in a country and in a culture where we don't talk about money, period. Like, it's not something that readily comes to discussions. Actually, we even say that your salary is your secret. No one should know how much you make, which is okay. I guess there is some protection from having privacy with your finances. But the only financial education that I got when I was growing up was when I studied accounting, and that is just balance sheets where people talk about allowances and savings. We don't have that kind of culture in Zimbabwe. So as I started growing up and I started making money, I started budgeting. I know how to spend my money, but I had no idea how to save the money and how to invest the money. So literally I was living from month to month until I realized that that is not the cycle of life that you want to have if you want any type of freedom. Because financial freedom isn't just about having money in the bank, but you also get freedom with your time, you have freedom to move, you have freedom to rest as well. So like I said, when I started getting older, I was looking into these financial education tips, and it always starts with saving. And I think that's where you should start from, because if you're going to move on to the next level, of course you need to save. And a lot of the advice that you get, especially from the people around you, is you should save money, you should always have money in the bank. And I agree with that 100%. But also, what do you do after you save? Because first of all, we're living in a time where there is so much inflation. So if I have $500 in my account in December end of this year, it's not going to have the same value in December of next year. Of course, I would get some interest, but still, there has to be a further step that you take with the money in order for you to have that security and that financial freedom. And I think that's where DoorDash was coming with that concept. And I don't know if I've spoken about this on this channel in a video, but I've spoken about it on a live. The mindset that people who come from not so wealthy backgrounds have is one of scarcity. And when we say we are building generational wealth, it's not just the money, but it's the wealth of the mind. You do not have to have a lot of money in the bank to feel like you belong in places if you have that wealth in your mind. And I'll give you a good example of this. I was using the Desert Dusk palette, my favorite palette. So I used Amber first, then I used Blazing. Now we're moving on to the Christian by Hadassah palette. I am going to use this one. It's like a chrome. When I was growing up, at least once a year, we would travel somewhere within Zimbabwe. I visited Victoria Falls, Wange, Inyanga. These were some of the places that we would frequent. And what it did to me was not only create memories, because I was quite young. I don't remember most of the things that were happening there. but it made me feel like I belong. Because after the holidays, when children come back from wherever they've been, okay, oh, I traveled to South Africa, I traveled to Botswana, I could say I traveled to Wange, or I traveled to Victoria Falls, I traveled to Inyanga. And when I look back at it, it's not a thing of, oh, I also traveled. It's a thing of, I don't sit in the corner and keep quiet while other people are in the room and speaking about something. And it made me grow up confident. I don't know exactly how to say it, but when people asked questions, when my headmaster would ask a question, I was never shy to raise my hand because I felt like I belonged in that space. When they would choose people to represent the school, for example, when the HIV and AIDS education was moving around in Zimbabwe, they would look for individuals from the school to go and learn, and then they would come and present it to the school, to the different classes. I was one of those people, and I volunteered to do that because I felt like I can speak, I have a voice, I know how to convey information, I know how to take down notes, and once I learn something, it sticks to my head. What I'm trying to say is there were some instances whereby I didn't have or I didn't experience the same as other children. And in those conversations, I kept quiet because I felt like I didn't belong in those conversations. An example, a very simple example of cable. In the UK, they call it cable. In Zimbabwe, we call it multi-choice because it's the company, but I'm not sure what other countries have, but basically that package where you have different channels. We didn't have that in the beginning when it was rolled out. So we would go to school, and whereas we were watching the local television and we would get snippets of the international music and the international movies, the other people in the class would be speaking about, oh, did you see the new Nelly video? Maybe Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott. Those times they would be talking about something that I had no idea about, and I felt like, oh, I can't really, speak about that, and it would quiet me. The same thing with going to a restaurant. On birthdays, on graduations, on occasions, we would go to restaurants, or maybe it's just a Sunday and my mom doesn't want to cook, and then we'll go for lunch. Right now, when I step into a restaurant, number one, I feel like I belong, so I can speak up. But I've been in instances with other people whereby they kind of draw back, they don't know what to say, they don't want to make a mistake because maybe they didn't have that little exposure. And I've also noticed that because I grew up in those environments, I have more respect for the people who are working there than maybe someone who didn't grow up in that environment, because they have this inclination that, okay, now I can afford, so you have to do things for me. So they are not polite to the people who are working there. But I know to say please and thank you and what do you recommend? Oh, how are you? So I think what I'm trying to say is sometimes we operate from a mindset of scarcity, not because of what we think or what we learn, but it is a mindset. And so yeah, that's the background of it. So what DoorDash was saying, she was saying that now that she started making money on YouTube or sharing how much money she's making, everyone keeps on telling her to save money. And no one is telling her to make more money. And she was saying that, and I agree with her, it is from a scarcity mindset, because when you don't have a lot, the little you have, you tend to hold on to it and you tend to hoard. So once you start saving and you see there's so much money in the bank, you do not feel the need to risk it. So when it comes to investment, for example, but we all know that investment is 50-50. So I don't think that is something that is easy or people find readily easy to do. However, what she then said after that was, no one ever tells me to make more money. And that stood out for me a lot. And she was talking about creativity. She was talking about going after the career of your dreams. Listen, there is a mindset that rich children, rich people operate from, that people who don't come from those particular backgrounds can understand. Children that come from well-to-do places jump on every opportunity because they are operating from abundance. They don't think that, oh, if I invest 50,000 into this startup and I lose it, I'm going to be broke, because they're not going to be broke. They don't think that if I start my business, if I invest 10,000 into this business, what if it doesn't work out? Because 10,000 is just a percentage of what they have. So there is that advantage to being wealthy, whereby you grab as many opportunities as you can. And you know what that does? It multiplies your money, because you're actually putting the money to work. And I'm not saying that I've cracked this code, guys. I have not, because I still try and make the best decisions with my money, because I've tried a lot of things. I've tried a lot of things in life. Some of them have worked out, some of them have not. And so I am very careful. I don't take as many risks as I would want to, actually. I wish I could take more risks with my money, more risks with the opportunities that I see, because I see that there's a 50% chance of them working out, but I'm not just there yet. I do invest in myself though. I invest in myself a lot. I have started multiple businesses. I am running multiple businesses. They're not as lucrative as I would want them to be, but the foundation is there. And I know that because I've planted the seeds, at some point they're going to germinate and they're going to flourish. So yeah, I have worked on that a lot, but it really did take me aback. Which mindset are you operating on with your finances, with the decisions that you make, with the opportunities that you take, even when it comes to content creation? Which which mindset are you operating from? Because I have spoken about this so many times that I've been doing YouTube for such a long time, and then you'll find some people who join YouTube and they blow up in a space of a month, of 3 months, and then you think to yourself, how did that happen? I think it has a lot to do with personality, and I think it has a lot to do with what you think about yourself and the content that you're putting out. Do you believe in the content that you're putting out? Because people can read from what you say if you believe in it or not, if you are entertaining enough or not. And so that plays a huge role. I'll give you an example of one of the YouTubers that I like from South Africa, Lanzi, right? Lanzi Gama has a group of friends who are all, well, most of them are YouTubers. And I don't remember who started, but Lanzi is almost at 100k subscribers. Then there's Vanessa Pardy. She's almost at 45 subscribers. There's ZX Online. I don't know how many subscribers she has. But whoever started in that circle made it easy for the other ones to follow through, because they knew that it was possible. First of all, they knew it was possible. Secondly, if we are a group of friends and Lanzi is bringing out content that people want to watch, and we probably have the same personalities, we probably go to the same events, we probably hang out a lot of times. I'm going to operate from the fact that, okay, the people who watch Lanzi are also going to like my content because we have the same content. I'm also going to operate from the point of I have some step ahead from someone who's starting and doesn't have a shout out from Lanzi. And so if they start their channel, of course, maybe the first 10,000 people are going to come from the Lanzi shout out. Oh, look, Vanessa started a channel. Follow Vanessa. Or Vanessa is going to get a following from her Instagram, whichever way it is. But when they come to the camera, they're not begging for subscribers. They are not begging for views because they know they're coming. So when they come, they are confident. I'm not going to say arrogant because we do not condone arrogance here, but they have that confidence of when you come to my channel, you're going to want to watch, you're going to enjoy my content, and you're going to subscribe. So that's the energy that they bring to the camera. And when you're watching it, you do want to subscribe because it's so much fun. And you live vicariously through them because, you know, they're living the content creator dream. And yeah, everything is just working out for them. So I say this to say, with everything, even in corporate, if you don't believe that you deserve that job, if you don't believe that you deserve that promotion, no matter how many opportunities are presented to you, the mindset, if you don't believe in yourself, no one is going to believe in you. You're not going to apply for that promotion because you're going to think, oh, so and so would do a much better job than me. Why? Why are you selling yourself short when you both study the same thing? You probably have the same work experience. It's because of your mindset. You are operating from a mindset of scarcity, even with your own skills. You don't believe in your own skills. You don't believe in your own experience. You don't believe in what you studied. You don't believe in the degree that you went through for years and years and years, and all those assignments and all those sleepless nights. That's a bit too personal, but we have to believe in ourselves if we want the rest of the world to believe in us, because nothing is going to come and be handed to you on a golden platter. So when wealthy people are said to grow up with a golden, do they say a golden spoon or a golden fork? I don't remember what it is exactly, but yeah. Yes, it is the money. Yes, it is the opportunities, but it's also the vim. It's the vim of I can do anything because I've seen it happening. My whole circle is doing it, and the network helps. Like I said, Lanzi and her friends, the network helps. Everyone who has a huge following, the cross-pollination. That's why we do collaborations, right? But that's why we do networking in corporations. That's why we go for seminars. That's why we have to teach ourselves that we belong, because we have to operate from that mindset. Even the way we spend from scarcity. Even the way we spend money to show people we have money, so we buy the things that we cannot afford, and we do not build any wealth. That is a scarcity mindset as well, because you feel like if I don't spend this money that I have right now, I'm never going to have the opportunity to get all these things. You can get them later on in life when you can buy them twice. I don't know if you've heard this quotation of, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. But unfortunately, we haven't grasped that. So we have money for a moment and we enjoy for a moment, and that's amazing. People should enjoy the fruits of their labor, but also put aside money, invest, start businesses, so that this can be a continuous lifestyle and not something people just see for 5 years, because you're trying to show people, right? So let it be something that can be a continuous lifestyle. I feel like my base is because of the beauty blender, so we are just gonna highlight, and I'm gonna try that red lippy that didn't work the last time because I bought a black liner, so I want to see how that goes. This is a generic black liner. I have absolutely no idea where it's from, but we are going to line our lips, child, so that when that pink comes, it's not gonna be a jump scare. All fired up on top of this black liner. Let's see. So toned down. It's giving ombre. I'm just gonna fix my hair and then I'll come with the conclusion. In conclusion, we need to shift our mindset from a scarcity mindset, from a hoarding mindset, to an abundance mindset. And you can do that in so many different ways. Number one would be opening your mind to the opportunities that are there, where you follow content creators because of their fashion, of the food. Also try and follow content creators who are working in finance, who work in investing, who are opening doors for themselves and their families. That can be very inspirational as well. You can invest in some financial education books. I have been reading some, but I'm definitely gonna invest in more. You can also start experiencing the things that you would if you had the abundance. For example, you can take yourself out for coffee, you can take yourself out for dinner, you can go for a picnic, you can take yourself to the beach. You don't have to do these things all the time, but you can save a little bit of money to do that, and you can do it once a year even. But you're operating in that mindset of abundance. You're operating in that mindset of belonging. If you have any networking opportunities in and around where you are, go to them. It could be a brand event. It could be a seminar about something you're not even interested in. Maybe you studied psychology and there's a seminar about dentistry. You are just mingling with different people who have different mindsets, who are in maybe the top of their field, upcoming in their field. Maybe they've been working there for a long time and they're trying to improve in their field. When you hear different people speaking from different aspects in their lives, it also opens up your mind to the opportunities that are there. It can also open your mind to the things that you want to try and avoid. So interaction also helps with that. And yeah, that is the end of the video, guys. Please let me know what you think about this mindset thing. Abundance mindset, scarcity mindset. We are not meant to operate from scarcity. We're not. And I would like to end the video with two scriptures. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you. Are we supposed to live with a mindset of scarcity? No. The second one is John 10:10. The enemy came to steal, kill, and destroy. Scarcity, taking away your things, the money that you have, the investment that you have. Oh, it's about to go. That's what the enemy came to do. But I have come that you may have life, and that you may have it in full. In some translations it says in full, and in some translations it says more abundantly. So take that, let it sit in your heart, so that when we are operating, we know where we're supposed to be operating from. If you've gotten to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. What do you think about the look? Is it fall autumn? Is it fall autumn? Let me know in the comments. Let me give you a little let me show you the fruits of my work.
Every night I try to love, but your heart is made of stone. All my tears, they fall like rain, yet you leave me here alone. I give you all I have inside. You pretend it's all pretend.
If you've gotten to this part of the video, thank you so much for sticking with me. Please don't forget to comment, like, and tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe, because we are on the road to 3K subscribers. 3K subscribers. And please remember, when you're watching the videos, please don't skip the ads. And I will see you guys next Thursday.
Your empty eyes, they break me down. Will this torment never end? Endless pain.